Hello, Aggies! Is this a good day or not? It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than what you have here today. You are on the best campus of the University of California. And that's not political. 3 of my daughters graduated from here. Our wife Patty's over there. And we know this campus. It is terrific. You care deeply about the future. You care deeply about what's going to happen. I must tell you, the greatest privilege in our lives was to be able to work with the 42nd President of the United States in his administration. Bill Clinton gets up every morning thinking about how he can make this a better world, how he can help people all around this world. No one has more energy, no one has more empathy, and no one has more understanding of what we must do. However, there's an equal. He's the current president, Barack Obama. There are thousands of you across this plaza. You're here today to listen to an extraordinary individual, a man who governed this nation, who brought this nation out of the depths of a recession, a person. I'm not talking about Obama, I'm talking about Clinton. Both of them have done it. Both of them have done it. But we're going to see today an extraordinary individual. And his message to you is about participation in this wonderful democracy we call America. Now, I've got one thing to do. How many of you have your smartphone with you? You can register to vote using your smartphone, and if you leave this plaza, and you're not registered to vote, I'll talk to you on the way to your class. That's how you change this nation. You get up and vote, and you listen very carefully to the man who's going to be following me in about 5 nanoseconds, the 42nd President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Look. First of all, it is really good to be back. I love this campus. I love it every time I come. I appreciate what you are doing here today. I thank Chancellor Katay for meeting me when I came in, and I want to thank the student leaders of our organizations, Rebecca Sterling and Arif Aziz of the Democratic Association. Thank you very much. And I want to thank John Garamendi for telling you to register to vote, because otherwise this is just an excursion on a Sunday afternoon. Look, I want to do something that is sort of atypical maybe for political rallies, something rather different from that last debate. Let's go back to facts. The people that ask questions in debates used to be called moderators, and they were supposed to like ring a bell or something when somebody said something that wasn't so. And the bell never rang, so we're going to ring the bell today. But the first thing I want to say is, if you look at this crowd and you look at these guys, you see what America is about. We have standing on the stage 4 people who believe, for very different reasons, that a country of we're all in this together works way better than a country of you're on your own. That a country of shared prosperity with a growing middle class and where poor people have a dignified, honorable chance to work their way into it is way better than trickle down. And a government that focuses on the future instead of giving away everything to the powerful in the present works better. That's what they believe. Why? Well, first you've got Mr. Garamendi, who was my Deputy Secretary of the Interior. He protected the environment for you when I was president. And his wife worked over at the Peace Corps to promote service around the world so people could see America's best face. Because we know in our party we have to be strong, but you can't kill, jail, or occupy all your enemies in an interdependent world. We need a world with more partners and fewer enemies. And before that, he was a Basque farmer with a big family, or a rancher. So I asked him about the price of cattle. I asked him about the price of alfalfa. We were talking, farmers are supposed to be self-reliant. There's not a farmer on earth that doesn't understand that when bad weather comes, or bad prices come, or natural disasters occur, we're all in this together works better than you're on your own. That's why John Garamendi's been a leader in the Congress and trying to bring manufacturing jobs back to America, and he knows there is no great manufacturing country on the face of the earth where the government and the private sector don't work together. That's what President Obama is doing. That's what John Garamendi is trying to do. Then you've got Dr. Bera. The product of the American dream. An immigrant family, a guy who gets into medicine to help other people, volunteers for 17 years at free student-run clinics. The chief medical officer of Sacramento County Public Health, a man who believes poor people deserve the same health care that the rest of us get. I believe there are plenty of people that need health care, so medical professionals ought to worry about giving it to them instead of trying to control women's choices. I believe two pieces of the American dream. Then you've got Congressman McNerney. The one thing he didn't tell you is that for years and years, long before it was fashionable, before he ran for Congress, he was in the wind turbine business, supporting wind energy. The United States ranks first or second in every major survey in the capacity to produce electricity from the sun and the wind. You want to know one big difference between the two presidential candidates? Barack Obama and the Congress supporting him have done more to take us from the back of the pack to the front of the pack in the production of solar and wind energy than any administration in history. And his opponent says we got to get rid of those tax credits for wind. We got to get rid of those tax subsidies for solar. I'd rather have a guy that worked more than 2 decades to prove that wind energy is good economics and good for the environment, and who understands if you want to save the planet, you can't ask people to turn out the lights. You have to make energy more efficient, and you have to make it cleaner, and you have to find a way to make it good economics. That's a good argument for Jerry McNerney. And it means something to me that he was inspired by his son to enter public service, because he wrote a bill to improve treatment for a very special group of our returning veterans. One of the great advances since the Vietnam War in medical care is in battlefield medicine. More and more and more people who once would have died lived. But in the conflicts in both Iraq and Afghanistan, more and more of those who lived who once would have died were damaged by what in common parlance are called roadside bombs. Their brains were badly shaken, and now hundreds of thousands of these veterans have come home to us with traumatic brain injuries. Some of them are obvious and painfully paralyzing to them. Some of them are less obvious, but they still cause empowerment. We have a profound obligation to them. Whatever you thought about either one of those conflicts, every one of those young men and women has a right to begin their lives again. And this man has done more than anybody else to give them that chance.